see Schwebel and Marcolette who are following in the heels of Mayfield, our leader in the Masters category. Mayfield. Corvillon has scored up to Desmond Phillips for New Zealand. And this will be his last lap. So Mayfield is competing in the 75 to 79 age group. Bottom of the picture there is Malcolm Chamberlain in the 70 to 74 category.
Alan Mayfield getting a bell in the Master Steeple, just ahead of Ron Schwebel and Mark.
Corvillon has just passed Malcolm Chamberlain. So the Masters competitors in their different age categories. About 40 meters to go for Corvillon. And he powers home to complete the under 16 2000 steeplechase for French Polynesia. This is Alan Mayfield in the 75 to 79 age group. He's caught up to Desmond Phillips for New Zealand. Also in the similar category. So Alan Mayfield does very well for Australia. First to finish the Masters competition. There's Ron Schwebel. And he completes the race as well. Ron Schwebel. Racing home is Marcolette, took part in the long jump Masters this morning. Does well for New Zealand. Malcolm Chamberlain. Well done, Malcolm Chamberlain. In a bit of pain is Desmond Phelps for New Zealand, but he soldiers on. It's been great to witness the resilience of these competitors in the Masters category. So Desmond Phillips finally completes men's 2,000 meters steeplechase in what was a combined under 16 and masters race. And we're about to head straight into the 200 meters. Great conditions here in Suva for day 6 of the Oceania Athletics Championships. In this women's 200 meters para, we have Sasha White for regional Australia, Sabella Wharton of Australia, Snowden, Australia Pardee, Australia Giddings. Australia for regional Australia is Pete and Danaher of New Zealand. Danaher out in lane 8, and then you have Pete in 7 for regional Australia, Giddings Australia in 6, Pardee Australia in 5, Snowden also for Australia is in 4, Wharton in lane 3 for Australia, and in lane 2 is White for regional Australia. So White in 2 for regional Australia, Wharton in 3 Australia, Snowden Australia in 4, Pardee Australia in 5, Giddings Australia in 6, Pete for regional Australia in 7, and Dana from New Zealand is in lane 8. This is the women's para 200 meters. So there's the results from the 2,000 meters steeplechase. Alan Mayfield there for Australia at first. Ron Schwebel and then Mark Lett of New Zealand. So we're ready for the women's 200. Off we go. Danaher started well, also Pete on the inside lane, but here comes Giddings for Australia, doing very well on the inside lane. White from regional Australia has taken the lead for the moment. She's rushing ahead. Coming back strong is Snowden on the inside lane, but White hangs on to the lead here for regional Australia in this 200 meters. She'll take it over Snowden, and then Wharton. So Sasha White of regional Australia. She's absolutely pleased with that. Sasha White, regional Australia. Danaher and Pitt right in front. And here comes White on the inside lane, in lane 2. She storms around that bend. She had Snowden on the inside as well as Wharton. But as they come to the straight, she hangs on to the lead, White, and Snowden was storming back in the last 30 to 40 meters. But White wins it ahead of Snowden and then Wharton in 3rd place. So a 29.77 for White, 30.16 for Snowden, 31.56 for Wharton in 3rd place. Women's 200 para. And 200 meters para finals about to get underway. Zach Harding, Zachary Odell, Jim Onitoro, Ramon Lewin, and Judah Namonga. Yes, that's Gamoga. So we have Odell in lane 2 for New Zealand, and then Harding for Australia in 3, Onitoro for Fiji is in 4, and then Lewin of regional Australia is in 5, and Gamoga of PNG is in lane 6.
track now are the Parallel and Military 200 meters finalists welcoming 1, 2 of the Parallel and Military 200 meters final.
Meters. Paramen, we have Obel of New Zealand into Harding of Australia in 3, Onitoro for Fiji is in 4, Lewin of Regional Australia in 5, and Moga of PNG is in lane 6. Off we go, good start there from Gamoga of PNG, as well as Lewin from Regional Australia, who's flying around that bend. Onitoro of Fiji on the inside lane. Leading them at the moment is Lewin. There's Gamoga as well for PNG and Onitoro for Fiji. But this man, Lewin of Regional Australia, looks very good with about only 10 meters to go. It's Lewin of Regional Australia that will win it over Onitoro of Fiji. Gamoga for PNG in 3rd.
That's tied in the first of the semi-finals of the Para and 200 metres.
Ramon Lewin of Regional Australia. Impressive here. Gamoga got off to a good start. But look at Lewin as they came around that bend. Started to pick up the pace. And powered through that bend. Onitoro on the inside for Fiji. Nice, beautiful run here from Ramon Lewin. Onitoro did very well for Fiji to move up into 2nd place. Lewin gets it done in the end. Onitoro in 2nd and Gamoga for PNG there in 3rd. So 26.53 for Lewin. 27.86 for Onitoro, and Gamoga with a 29.53. Beautiful day here in Suva for day 6 of the Oceania Athletics Championships. Remember, we still have the 3,000 steeplechase to come, the 800 meters, and the last races for the afternoon will be the 400 meters. But our next start list here, netting of Australia, Dillian also for Australia, McKillop, Woolley, New Zealand, Smith, New Zealand, Tirado of Australia, and Abraham for Papua New Guinea. So we have netting for Australia in 2, Dillian also of Australia in 3, McKillop Australia is in 4, Woolley New Zealand in 5, Smith also for New Zealand in lane 6, Tirado of Australia is in 7, Abraham is in lane number 8. Off we go. Good start there from Abraham, but Tirado as well for Australia, traveling very well in lane 7. Smith also there with Woolley. Woolley's traveling very quickly on the inside lane, but hanging on to the lead is Abraham for PNG. Tirado coming back at him from Australia. Tirado is finishing very strongly here, but Abraham will just win it for PNG. Tirado gets second. And the two runners out in 8 and 7, and it was a real close battle. But Abraham for PNG does very well to finish in first place. Really a quick start right from the edge. Abraham and Tirado. And impressive that Abraham maintained the lead throughout despite Tirado coming right back at him with about 60 to go. Abraham just hung on for PNG to finish this race first. Tirado of Australia in second. And that's Smith for New Zealand in third place. It's a good time, a 23.60. Tirado at 23.92, and Smith for New Zealand 25.33. It's absolutely great. And we have Brian McAvaney has joined. It's Bruce McAvaney that's joined us again here for day 6 of the Oceania Athletics Championships. Bruce, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Nita. Great to be here. Quite warm, a little breezy, beautiful day in Suva as we have a look here at the first of the under-18 women's 200 metres. Charlotte McAuliffe so impressive yesterday in the 400 metre heat. Amelia Goldsmith. Lydia Wangwarapua. Miriam Nasali.
Michaela Webb, Kiara Gilroy, Tupo Hikila for Tonga, and Jasmine Cello for Regional Australia.
So Michaela Webb ran second. She finished with a silver medal in the 100 metres yesterday behind O'Neill. So watch for her here, and McAuliffe in lane number 1. So there's Webb, Goldsmith outside of her, and Gilroy, and Cello, Hakila there. Lydia in lane 3. Lane 2 looks to be vacant, I think, and lane 1 is Charlotte McAuliffe. So the wind here is actually favourable running around the bend. It's behind them, so they can get quite the slingshot off the bend. There's Charlotte McAuliffe. She's very good at 200, but 400's her specialty. The South Australian is probably, it's fair to say, the outstanding junior track sprinter in South Australia. Female. We'll see the male later today, who's the Australian junior record holder in Aidan Murphy from South Australia. So Webb, I think, will be one to watch. So the qualification here is the first 3 and then 2, so a couple of heats. Under 18, 200 metres. So watch for McAuliffe on the inside, and Webb, who's 2 from the left. I think they should be the favourites. Cello got out very well also from regional Australia. McAuliffe comes into the screen now. You can see her on the right, leading from Goldsmith's had a good run. Webb normally strong late. McAuliffe and Goldsmith together. Goldsmith, of course, a quality athlete as well. And then Webb, the first 3 to go through, and they're clear cut. McAuliffe looked fantastic over Goldsmith and Webb. And then behind those were Lydia from Fiji. Cello went well early, and also Hakila there, but beautiful run. Not easy, Netta, sometimes from lane 1, because you're very tight on that turn, aren't you? But Charlotte handled it oh so well.
Yes, she certainly did. Charlotte McAuliffe for Australia lived up to her reputation in this race. As we see, it was a good start from Goldsmith for New Zealand, right on the outside lane, and Webb was right with her as well, right from the start. As they come around the corner, Cello of Regional Australia was gaining some good ground on the inside lane. But right there in lane 1, you can see Charlotte McAuliffe start to make her move. Nice straight running from Charlotte McAuliffe, powering home here in the under-18 women's 200 meters. Goldsmith for New Zealand in second, and Webb for Regional Australia in third.
And here are the results, the official results after that first heat of 2, and I think we saw some of the favourites, if not the favourite for the gold medal in that, with McAuliffe, Goldsmith and Webb all running extremely well. McAuliffe able to relax a little towards the end. Second heat not too far away as we check that. So there's Herdman we've seen a fair bit of, Roberts. So the lineup here for heat number 2.
We have Yannick Millie of PNG's in lane 1. Claudie David, Vanuatu in 2. Jocelyn Blair, Regional Australia, is in 3. Shari Hudman of Australia is in lane number 4. As off we go.
And from the outside lanes is Scully of New Zealand going past Kuhlmeister of New Zealand. Roberts in the middle there, and Herdman's having a really good run as well. So, and look for the inside with Millie coming through from Papua New Guinea. But at the moment it's New Zealand's Scully over Herdman of Australia. Though Herdman's getting very close on the line. No, it's going to be Scully over Herdman, and Millie gets third with Blair finishing well behind her. So the Kiwi was very good early. Herdman from Fingal Bay finished strongly, the tall Australian. You see the difference in the height there. But Scully ran a beautiful first 100 metres, didn't she?
Absolutely. What a great run here. And Scully just had that sense of purpose early on. Off the blocks very quickly, and she showed her intentions early. Coming around that bend, she looked really good. Scully for New Zealand. But it's interesting to see Hardman for Australia in the middle. You'll see her look across just here. There she looks to Scully and onto the other side. And then she just slows down. Just done enough to qualify for the finals. It's Scully and then Hardman and Millie for Papua New Guinea third.
And Roberts not too far away, was she? She was closing well. So we saw McAuliffe win the first heat. This is the second heat results.
24.79 for Scully, 25.14 for Hardman, and 25.71 for Millie.
Just 16 years of age, Millie. In this under 18s. So men's 200 under 18 heats are about to start. Some big interest here as we have a look at heat number 1.
We have Sokilangi for Fiji, Gart for Australia, and Nelly for Tuvalu, Langere for Fiji, Kaniwete of Kiribati, Williams of Norfolk Island. We have Scott for New Zealand, and Regional Australia, it's William Tate.
Crowd here today, very strong crowd. There's Kanawate Kiribati in lane 4. Sukuligai of Fiji in lane number 2. It's Gout, so a big star in Australian sprinting. 20.69 is his fastest time. It was in January this year. He's broken all the age records on the way through. He's quite phenomenal. And there are high hopes going forward for Gout. We saw his teammate run so well and win the gold medal in the 100 metres yesterday. His training partner, Casilio, and Gout, still a youngster. He was born on the 29th of December 2007, so he's just 16 years of age. And Nita, there's been a lot of excitement about him in Australia. So there he is, getting himself organised. Scott from New Zealand. That's Hunter Scott in lane 7. So the qualification here, it's the first 3 and 2. So again, 2 heats. So
Ready on the track is the first heat of 2 for the under 18 men 200 meters. This is the under 18 men 200 meters in 2.
one of the reasons we haven't been able to bring you that result from heat 1 of the 200 metres was the disqualification, lane 3. So unfortunate about that. So certainly our attention will be in that middle lane here. So Anelli of Tuvalu, Scott, New Zealand, they're closest to us, Lakreri, Fiji, and then Gout. See him just go through the ritual before the race, and then Kanavati, Kirabush, Williams, Norfolk Island, Sakaliki of Fiji, and Tate of regional Australia. Watch for Gout here. And he got away well. A good clean start, that's what he's after. And have a look how beautifully he runs the bend here and quickly goes to the lead. Kanavati of Kiribati has had a very good run early, and so's Serariki of Fiji, but there is a very big gap between Gout and the rest of the field. Look at that high knee lift. Isn't that poetry in motion? A beautiful mover that he is. Over the line first. In second place, Scott. And I think it was Sakaliki in third place for Fiji. Nika, we've just seen a showman and an outstanding young prospect.
Absolutely wonderful to see Gout here in Suva for this 2024 Oceania Athletics Championships. Real big star. And he's got a fantastic, unique style of running, as we saw in that race. And he gets off the blocks. He's quite lean and very agile as well. But look at Scott Hunter for New Zealand. He got off the starting blocks really well. He was leading them at the stage, but look at Gout coming in on the inside. Beautiful indeed to watch this young man here in Suva. And he had complete control, and I love the leg high movement, the high legs. Beautiful to watch with those orange spikes. Absolutely sensational. Scott in second, and Saukilangi, he have just got in third. In fact, that was Langere. No, that's Saukilangi.
So 21.06, so the senior men are running shortly. So remember this time, 21.06, because a lot of the senior men, that would certainly get you into the final for the senior men. And there's the gap, Hunter Scott. Sokolagi, is it?
Saukilangi.
22.63, and Hunter's got 22.30, but 21.06, that is outstanding running. It's from Ipswich Grammar. It's got such a fast 100 metre time as well, 10.29. Fascinating background. His parents moved to Australia a couple of years before he was born, from South Sudan. As we said, in southeast Queensland, goes to that grammar school at Ipswich. Here's heat 2.
So we have Connor Bennett of Regional Australia in 1, Lucas Lambert of New Zealand in 2, Seth Kennedy, Australia in 3, Joseph Andrews for Fiji is in 4, Mameto Iakopo of American Samoa is in 5, Hunter Jet of Tonga is in 6, Macaulay Saunders of Vanuatu in 7, and Keanu Watson of Regional Australia in 8.
So some of those graphics not matching up with the actual lane draw. So there's been a reshuffling. There's been a couple of withdrawals. So there's been a late reshuffle in the lane draws here. So Netta read them out perfectly there. Away they go. So Hewitt Watson on the outside, and Saunders next to him, and having a good run early is Janka of Tonga. He's 3 from the left, and the Australian Seth Kennedy 3 from the right, also leading into the straight. And Lucas Lambert, who made the final of the 100, not that far behind him, but now a clear lead for Kennedy. He looks fantastic as well, doesn't he? Very different to Gaukau, but very good as well. Hewitt Watson gets through, and then Lambert. So it looks like it's Australia over regional Australia and New Zealand. Well, if you hadn't seen Gaukau, you'd say there's your gold medalist, but it's going to be a big mountain to climb in the final, isn't it? But he was good, wasn't he?
Wow, absolutely great from Seth Kennedy. He's going to set up a really interesting finals. Kennedy again from Australia, the 2 Australians in heat 1 and 2. Gaukau we saw in heat 1, and now Kennedy in heat 2. Good start on the middle lane. We had Hewitt Watson for Regional Australia that got off to a great start. And Tonga's Hunter is also making some great inroads on that occasion, but just coming around that bend. Here comes Kennedy. Looks so determined. The focus is there. Hewitt was coming back strong right on the outside lane. Kennedy just looks across. He knows he's got this under control. And there's Hewitt. And then for Lambert, New Zealand.
And here's the official results at 21.94, still under 22 seconds. Seth Kennedy is the Australian under 16 400-metre record holder. So he's very strong. Kano Hewitt Watson in 22.48 and Lucas Lambert in 22.89. Goes to Brisbane Grammar, still just 16 years of age. So Gaukau certainly running something quite sensational in the heat, 21.06, and Kennedy in 21.94. They're the 2 leading contenders, but obviously there's an overwhelming favourite for the final. And if the conditions are really good in that final, maybe Gaukau could approach his personal best here, an Australian underage record.
Absolutely, it's going to be a great final. Gaukau, of course, the favourite in the 200 metres, but just seeing Seth Kennedy as well, running well in that second heat, it's going to be a great final indeed.
So a lot of action today, Anita. I've heard you mentioning we finished with the 400 metres finals today. The women at the end of the program, the men just in front of those. Steeplechasers, quite a few of the steeplechasers, very important races from a point of view for the Olympic Games. A couple of Australians I know that would desperately like a big result and a gold medal today. And we see the heats of the 200 metres for men and women, and 2 young Australians, Caleb Law and Tori Lewis, a couple to watch from Queensland, both trained by or coached by Andrew Islam out of Brisbane, and their training partners. Caleb's only 20 years of age. He was 3rd in the World Junior Championships a couple of years ago. Tori Lewis is the Australian record holder, senior, over 100 metres, and the Australian champion for the last 2 years at 200. So we're going to see some quality athletics today.
Absolutely looking forward to that. This is the women's 200 metres senior. We have Iakopo of American Samoa in 2, Luka for Tuvalu is in 3, Mia Gross of Australia in 4, Kyle of Samoa in 5, Short for Cook Islands is in 6, Tauvaka for Tonga in 7, and Tagade of Guam is in lane 8.
course, is the second fastest Australian this year, the second fastest in Oceania. She had that time in Japan recently, so she's really coming through here. Mia, she's certainly one to watch. Still young, just turned 23. Trained by John Nicolosi out of Victoria, and is making some very big headway. Got a couple of the semi-finalists here from the 100 metres. Estelle Short of Cook Islands and Regine Tagadi of Guam were both in the 100 metre semi-final. So today a lot of the 200 metre runners went through those 100 metre races yesterday. So they back up here, which is what you expect, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how they back up their performances from the 100 meters last night. But what a great showdown we had in the 100 meters last night. It was absolutely wonderful.
Everybody was talking about it over dinner last night. And those four men all in a line with, what, 20 or 30 meters to go, and then right on the line. It was so close. And of course the women's race with Ella Connolly. So some wonderful athletics here yesterday. And it continues today.
So we welcome you in wherever you're joining us from, live on Fiji 1. It's great conditions here in the capital city for day 6 of the Oceania Athletics Championships. We're just about to bring you the action from the women's senior grade in the 200 meters. And of course, we're very lucky to have Bruce McAvaney, who's here with us to call the races.
Nita, thank you. We've already had some outstanding running today, haven't we? We welcome you to what should be a fantastic day of athletics. Mia Gross, we can see there, second fastest Australian this year, has got a time down to 23.15. She ran that recently in Japan, in fact on the 3rd of May, so just a month ago. She's just 23 years of age, trained by John Nicolosi in Melbourne, and Mia's making great headway. Couple of the semi-finalists, Tagadi there, semi-finalist in the 100 from Guam, and also Estelle Short of Cook Islands was a semi-finalist in the 100. There's Estelle there, so just 20 years of age. Tavaka of Tonga next to her, and then Kyle of Samoa. Gross certainly the one to beat here. So the qualification here for the women's interesting. So it's the first 3 and then 4, because we have semi-finals tomorrow and then final. So 3 races here for the 200. So it's a big program. So for those that have already run a couple of rounds or even 3 rounds of the 100, that's a lot of running over a short time. They've just joined us. The 400 metres concludes the program today, both finals, men's and women's. Got some distance races with those steeplechases. Good, healthy crowd here today. Very enthusiastic. Bit of a breeze up. And lovely warmish conditions. I'd say warm for this time of the year.
Yes, warm. Today's about 26 degrees. But as you said, Bruce, a good crowd has come in. And, you know, this is a great opportunity for people here in Fiji to come and watch some of the best athletes from Oceania, especially Australia. I mean, you're seeing a couple of Olympic medalists already in the likes of Maloney in the decathlon, and we're very fortunate to see him in a day 2 of competition on Sunday. So quality athletes that have packed the stadium here at the HFC Bank Stadium. So it's a wonderful opportunity. If you're not doing anything at all, come on down and catch the action here.
Papua New Guinea are doing well, as they often do, don't they? They've got great sprinters. What a list of champions over the years, and they get good support, don't they?
Yes, and Leonie Bew did so well in the 100 meters last night to grab the bronze medal. So,
and she's running, we believe, today, so it'll be interesting to see if she toes the line, backing up. Outstanding, wasn't she, to finish in the medals there? Just pipping Summerfield on the line for that 3rd place. Javelin, you mentioned medalists, Mackenzie Little, the Australian javelin thrower, who was world champion medalist a couple of times. She's in action tomorrow. So a lot of people that, wherever you are, that will be watching the Olympic Games in Paris, you're going to see a lot of these athletes. And a lot of the islanders will select their team from what happens here, won't they?
yes.
So Gross, the favourite, is in the familiar Australian strip. First heat, women's 200 metres. Away, and Gross got a really good start. You'll see she's quickly got up to Kyle in the first of the 100 metres. Tagudi out wide, she's in lane number 8, but Mia Gross has run a particularly hard first 100 and enters the straight about 5-6 metres in front. Her personal best is 23.15. Tagudi's in second place, and then the battle between Short and Kyle, but Gross absolutely supreme here, relaxes towards the end, and that's a fast run. I think that's inside 24 seconds by the look of it. Very good. Tagudi, Kyle and Short were behind them as well, so they will all go through to the semi-finals. Look at Mia there. She could, well, yes, she could blow a candle out, but not two. She looks terrific.
Absolutely. Mia Gross currently ranked number 2 in Oceania. What a wonderful race from this young lady.
She's full of confidence, Netta, because of that big run in Japan just a month ago.
Fantastic indeed, and she just had a really good start. You had Takade, who from Guam won the bronze medal in the 200 meters at the Pacific Games, and she was flying out of the blocks right in front, Takade. But look at Gross, closes the gap quickly and then just eases in front. A nice, beautiful running style from Mia Gross. Fantastic indeed from the number 2 ranked runner here in Oceania, Gross. There's Tugade in second place, and then Short of Cook Islands.
So how fast was she? It looked around, well, just outside 24, so 24.05. It's a really good sprint, and there's a gap, isn't there? Tugade and Short. So Tugade at 25.64 and Short at 26.41. And Kyle gets through at 26.56. It's the first 3 and then 4 after that, so that third place important here. We're about to see one of the highlights of the day, I think, in a moment. In the second heat